Hello, race fans. Welcome to another edition of the Industry Insider here on the EKN Radio Network. My name is Rob Howden, joined today by a guy that I've known a long time, Roger Ruthhart from the Rock Island Grand Prix. We're going to talk about the Rock here today because one of the major sadnesses in my life right now is I can no longer go to Rock Island because I'm always at the Mazda Road to Indy finale. This year it'll be in Portland. I had to say no to the Rock Island Grand Prix where I announced for, I think, 15 years. Roger, first off, thank you so much for joining us here on the EKN Radio Network so we can talk about one of the coolest races in the world, Rock Island Grand Prix.
Always good to talk to you, Rob.
So for those people who maybe don't know about the Rock Island Grand Prix, we'll kind of jump in, I think, with a bit of a history first. I'll let you do it, but I'll say to the beginning, this is one of those races when I first got into the sport where I had my magazine Shifter Card Illustrated. I'm like, I'm going to roll down. Actually, I think I was there even when I was with National Kart News. And I said, I got to go to this race. I hear it's awesome. And the minute I was there for the first time, I never wanted to leave. It's essentially this cool race in the district area, the Arts and Entertainment District area of Rock Island Grand Prix, which is part of the Quad Cities in Illinois, right on the Mississippi River with Davenport and Bettendorf and
Moline.
Yep. There you go. So again, great street race downtown. We're going to talk a little more about the amazingness of it, but race fans, karters, if you've never been to the Rock Island Grand Prix, it's probably the race that everybody calls the bucket list race in North American karting. Am I correct, Roger?
I hear that a lot. That's for sure.
Okay, give us the short version of the kind of the history of Rock Island and how long it's been going and the whole deal.
Well, the short version, which is I guess pretty long since this is our 24th year, but we go back to the early 90s when really street racing was much more common than it is today. There was little street races all over the Midwest and not very safe all the time, but they were held anyway. And we had a couple of racers approach the Downtown Business Association and say, "Hey, you need to host one of these races." And they kind of laughed and poo-pooed it. And I mean, for those who've known me for a while, for a long time was editor of the newspaper, and the newspaper was looking for events to support, and at the same time, the Arts and Entertainment District was looking for ways to bring people downtown. So it started off as a newspaper event, and that lasted for about 2 years, I think, before it became much larger than the newspaper wanted to handle. And so moved on to the Business Association, ran it for a year or two, and then we created a separate not-for-profit organization that now has handled it for 20 some years, I guess. Originally it was the first one was supposed to be in 1993, and got to be about the end of July, and we couldn't figure out why nobody was signing up. And for those who remember weather history, that was the year of the major Mississippi River flood, and it was a big news all over the country. And basically, we found out that even though Rock Island has a seawall and was high and dry, everybody assumed that we were flooded out, and so nobody was planning to come. So we kind of put it on hold for a year, and so the first one was held in 1994.
I have not heard that story. I did not know about that story. So 1994, the very first event. Again, to update some people, give them the insight, it's essentially an awesome little 6-turn racetrack. It's fast, long straightaways. They're all 90 degrees. 5 of them are left-handers, 1 right-hander. A simple racetrack, but the track has its little intricacies of the lines you've got to take and where where the bumps are, because there's some bumps around the track as well. You got to hit them correctly. Roger, you said 24 years this year. The race itself, it really kind of played to the categories that were big in the area. There was shifter karts, there was Yamaha, there was Briggs racing. Is that kind of the case?
It has always been the one race where you can find every kind of karting known to man. I can still remember, sort of back in the early days, some of the SCUSA guys coming out from California to race and staring with their mouths open looking at 4-cycle karts because they'd never seen one out there. But we have the vintage carts. We have, gearbox Yamahas. Briggs is huge lately. That's the real growth in the sport right now, and we're happy to work with Briggs and Stratton. They've been a partner for, I don't know, probably 20 some years, and it's just, it's a great venue for everybody. I mean, it really is.
Well, one of the things I would want to bring up is the fact that, again, I think my first race there was 97. I want to say 90. I think 97 was the first year that I attended. One of the cool things about the race as well, and it hasn't really, like you said, the growth of the Briggs and Stratton classes really is this really cool thing that's happening with the Rock now. But it also kind of took over for the King of the Streets from Supercarts USA, which started in, I believe, Oklahoma City. And then Jim Murley took it to Quincy and then brought it to Rock Island, and it really found a home at Rock Island. So the King of the Streets for the 125 shifter carts really has been one of the core programs of the race over the last number of years.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's still a huge feather in anybody's cap to win. It's a great draw for spectators. It's just a fun event. As you know, we ramp up the hype and make a big deal out of it and crown the winner with a cape and crown, and so it's been a great event here in the Midwest for the shifter cart drivers, and of course we draw people out of the South, the East, the West, Canada, all over to come race in it.
Well, I could say, and I'm proud to say that I've raced in the event probably I think 5 or 6 times. I've raced. When I first started, I ran a 125 shifter a couple times. I know that. I ran the 125 shifter masters category a couple of times. I ran tag senior. I ran tag master with Keith Freber actually wrenching on my Margay Brava, and I think I finished 7th. I've had my best runs, of course, running the Briggs in the 206 categories in senior and master. I think what drives me crazy, because I got to get back there soon, Roger, because David Cole is beating me on the money list by I think about $35. So that, I'm telling you, that really irks me that David's got me on the money list. I think I'm like number 235 or something like that, because that's one of the things we need to mention, Roger. Not only is it a great race to come down to and have fun, but you guys pay cash out as well.
Yeah, we do, and we always have. It's gotten to the point where we have set up the purse. It's based on the entries per class, so it's really up to the racers to figure out how much we're going to pay out. But there's a formula. It's in our rules, and so the bigger classes we pay more, and the smaller classes we pay less, and that's how it's been the last few years. And I don't know, there's not a lot of kart races that are paying in cash out in, what is it, 17 classes these days. So
yeah, exactly. Now, here's a couple things I want to bring up as well about the Rock Island Grand Prix, and you can speak to it a little bit. First, I want to start talking about the safety level of the racetrack, and that, I think, with me and David Cole going down there, David's raced the last number of years in the Ignite Challenge, the Margay Ignite Challenge, which is such a big part of the race these days. You guys take, and you mentioned earlier about the fact that there's street races that happen around the country that are nowhere near in terms of how safe the Rock Island Grand Prix is, because you guys go that extra level with barriers and the crush zones and hay bales and fencing. You guys take safety so seriously, and I think that's one of the reasons why I'm always comfortable to tell anybody, go to Rock Island and race. Yeah, it's street racing. Any racing is potentially dangerous, but you guys do such a great job. I've wrecked there myself, and just the way you guys have the barriers set up is perfect. And just speak a little bit about how you take safety so seriously.
Well, and I think you're right. I think we're sort of the gold standard for street racing safety these days, but it's always been important. When we first got involved with it, as I mentioned, there wasn't a lot of attention paid to safety. I can remember going to some other street races, and the only thing between the racers and the spectators was yellow caution tape. So from the very beginning, we tried to make it really safe. A big part of that, I think, happened during the years when Tom Margay Jr. was our race director, and he was a NASCAR Winston Cup safety official. So he knew a lot of things to look for, and he brought in a lot of the innovations that we continue to use today, even though he sadly passed away a number of years ago. But every year is better. mentioned hay bales. We haven't gotten away from those, so there's no chance for having to bust up any hay bales anymore. But you know, there's 2 layers of plastic barriers
No.
and layers of fence, and there's no spectator areas, and um, you might get bruised a little, but we really haven't had a lot of people really seriously injured over the years, and we're really proud of that.
And how about, in speaking, like kind of in the same line, you guys have probably the best corner workers in the sport. You have teams. Again, as I said, there's 6 corners around this racetrack, but you have teams. I don't know how many. It's 4 or 5 people at every corner. They'll go streaming into turn number 1. Someone will go off it into the barriers, and boom! All you see is the yellow shirts jumping out there, and they're grabbing. They're grabbing the carts and pulling them back just so that the track is clear again when everybody comes by. You must take a lot of pride in number one, the volunteers you have, and just the extent of how good those corner workers are.
Well, these are people that are truly volunteers, and it's probably the toughest job. I mean, it's a long day, it's a physical job, and they come back year after year after year. But now it's the best seat on the race course when you're not having to work and pull carts out of the way and things like that. But we just have a really great crew. I think we have one corner marshal coming back this year. It's his 20th year, and each corner has a key guy or woman who's been there a long time, and then we fill in around that with some people who are sort of learning and coming up through the process, and it's just a great crew of people, and Becky Rasmussen does a great job of organizing them and managing them and making sure everybody's knows what their expectations are and those sort of things. So yeah, it's just a great group, and that goes for our whole group of race officials and tech officials and everything. I mean, they're literally we think the best from all around the country, and it's the one race a year when they all work together.
Yeah, I think you bring everybody together. It's a bucket list race, not just for drivers either. It's a bucket list race for teams. It's a bucket list race for officials, as you said. Roger, one of the things I love too, and David Cole and I speak about this a lot, and that's the importance of our sport to have some iconic trophies. There's the Duffy, there's the WK Eagle. You guys have the Rock. It's the Rock Island Grand Prix, but everybody wants a rock. For me at least, and I won't use the curse word, but that saying from Matt Payway, I'm going to come back so I win that beeping rock. Racers want that rock. I love that.
Yeah, it's a unique trophy. It's basically just a chunk of rock that's engraved with our name and has a nameplate that says what class you want. And there's a few guys who've probably got enough to build an addition on their house, but for a lot of other people, winning that one rock is as big as a national championship.
I agree. There's guys that want one, and then you got Tony Nielsen there with a rock garden outside his house with all rock trophies.
Yeah, Nielsen, Gary Lawson, some of those guys that just, over the years have amassed quite a collection of them.
No doubt about it. Okay, so we've talked about some of the cool factors. Just when we'll do more, but let's talk about the race right now first. It's obviously the Labor Day Classic. For people who don't know that, it's been Labor Day for the last so many years for the run of the event. Let's talk about the class structure for this year. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. What categories are on the docket? Because I know this, and you can talk about it. You guys kind of evolve with the times as well. You bring some of the categories in that are more of the day. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's tough for us because, we have to decide, in December and January, what classes we think are going to be strong, on Labor Day. So it's sometimes it's kind of a crapshoot. But again, we try and have something for everybody. So, it's sometimes you just have to wait and see how registrations go. And honestly, probably 2/3 to 3/4 of our registrations come in after August 1st. So, we're sitting here right now with a little over 100 entries, but probably 90% of them are in 4 cycles. So, we're waiting to see, how the other classes are going to shape up.
So, obviously the Briggs 206 classes, the 206 has been such a a godsend to karting over the last couple of years, really resetting the bar in terms of grassroots racing. So you've got the 206. Are you running the senior, medium, masters, heavy kind of thing as well for 206 in addition to the Margay Ignite classes?
Well, we're running senior, heavy, and medium, junior, and then the same senior. And let me start over. Heavy, medium, and masters in 206, and then heavy, junior, and masters in the Ignite classes. And one thing we've done the last couple of years is, because we had some guys that said, well, I leave here and go home and I barely have any wear on my tires. And so what we've done is added a second class, because in both heavy and medium this year, the same we've had in Yamaha heavy in the past. So basically you run the second class and you have to use your same tires. But it also helps address a complaint that we had heard from racers that, everything, I go into this, but I'll have all this preparation and everything, but I get a lot of track time. So this way, you can enter two classes, you have two chances to win, you have twice as much practice, you don't have to buy new tires, and you get more track time. So those classes are available in the 206 heavy, 206 medium, Yamaha heavy, and then one change we made this year, we also offered in the 125 open shifter, but those drivers asked us to eliminate the rule for using the same tires because they're softer tires and they don't hold up as well. So now we're offering two classes for those guys so they can get more track time and have two chances to win, but they can use different tires.
In addition, I think you told me that you're bringing the X30 category in as well?
Yeah, for years, we were one of the biggest tag races in the world, I think. We started it early. We ran it long. We had great support from Tag USA when Tom Argy ran it and Dave Larson. But last year we were down to about 4 entries, I think. So we switched off to the X30 this year, and we're hoping those drivers are going to support us and come out and give a good show in that class.
I would hope so. Obviously, the X30 is a program that really has taken off, running in WKA, of course, USPKS, Route 66. So I would expect you're going to get a good group of guys in the X30 senior class coming out to play. One of the things I want to bring up as well, Roger, because it was kind of refreshing. It's such a different event in terms of the fact that we'll talk about off track, but the weekend itself. Now, I know that you've made it opportunities for people to run multiple classes, and a lot of guys will do that, right? Tony Nielsen and these guys are going to come out and run 4 or 5 classes, 6, 7 classes. They'll run everything they can. But for some guys, maybe in the shift or whatever it is, it really, if you want it to be, if that's the way you want the experience to be, it can be a really laid back weekend because it's a Saturday, Sunday, couple practice sessions. I know when I was there, it was qualifying. I'm not sure if you're qualifying or doing the heat races this year on the Saturday again, but on Sunday it's kind of a morning warm up and one race, and there's tons of fans, and you kind of push out on the front straightaway for every start. There's just that kind of cool feel. You can run 1,000 classes if you want, or you can run 1 or 2 and just really enjoy the day, kind of a laid back day.
Oh, absolutely, and a lot of people enjoy doing the prep and the adjustments and all of that are part of racing and having the time to do it, while other guys hope they got the prep done ahead of time and just jump from one car to the next. So there's kind of 2 different ways to approach it, and that's fine. But you want to come and run just one race, you'll have as great a weekend as anybody else will. And as you mentioned, it's a race that's held in the Arts and Entertainment District, so there's restaurants, nightclubs, comedy clubs, dinner theater, outdoor concerts, and all that kind of stuff going on all weekend long besides the racing.
Get a chance to talk to Roger Ruthhart here from the Rock Island Grand Prix, of course, the Labor Day Classic. Going to be a big year, 24th edition. When we get back after this break, Roger and I are going to talk about some of that off-track stuff because that's one of the things that always kept me coming back to Rock Island. Stay with us, folks. More from Roger Ruthhart and the Rock Island Grand Prix here on the EKN Radio Network.
For over a century, Briggs & Stratton has had a commitment and passion for racing. It's a DNA found in every engine we build today. So whether you kart race, Baja, race quarter midgets, or believe that dirt and snow are just God's way of adding to the challenge, the dedicated spirit of every Briggs & Stratton employee stands at the fence waiting for the green flag to drop. Briggs & Stratton Racing. What powers you?
In a sport where the difference between winning and losing is measured in hundredths of a second, you can't afford to leave anything on the table. You invest in the best equipment, the latest components, and top-of-the-line data acquisition systems. Anything to find one more tenth, right? I'll tell you right now, the best investment you could ever make is in yourself. If you want to improve your results, it's time for professional instruction and coaching at the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy. Located at the new state-of-the-art Speed Sports Racing Park just north of Houston, the Alan Rudolph Racing Academy uses the very best equipment, Burrell Art Carts. They offer half-day, one-day, two-day, and three-day clinics. They have a one-on-one student-to-instructor ratio, and they will design a customized curriculum for each student. Alan Rudolph is one of the most respected people in the sport, and he has nearly 20 years' experience training drivers, including Chase Elliott, Neil Alberico, Austin Versteeg, and Sabre Cook, and rising stars like Pietro Fittipaldi. Train with a champion with over 30 years of racing experience to get proven results. Start off your season with a driver tune-up. Tune up your season with some driver coaching. Or get ready for the big races by training with the best. Reserve your dates now by calling 866-607-RACE. That's 866-607-7223. For more information, visit speedsportsracingpark.com/racing-academy. Since 2003, K1 Race Gear has been a one-stop shop for all your indoor and outdoor karting needs. From racing shoes, suits, and driving gloves to chest protectors, rib vests, accessories, and bags, K1 Race Gear provides quality karting products for the enthusiast and the professional alike. We have an incredible lineup of K1 karting suits designed to fit everyone's budget. Check out our entry-level GK2, the new Apex 2, and our top-of-the-line Speed 1 suit. Then, choose from our Apex and RS1 karting gloves and add in our K1 shoes, rib protectors, and neck collars. If you need a custom suit to support your sponsors, we can create a custom look as unique as you are. As you would expect, our custom suits are made to order. With pricing as low as $495, you're sure to find a suit that not only satisfies your racing needs, but is easy on the wallet as well. We take care of all of our customers at K1 Race Gear, not just the ones with deep pockets. Visit K1RaceGear.com today and get everything you need for your next racing season. Welcome back to the newest edition of the Industry Insider here on the EKN Radio Network. Rob Howden speaking with Roger Ruthhart from the Rock Island Grand Prix. Roger, we talked about the racing itself. I love the racetrack. It's simple, 6 corners, 5 lefts, 1 right-hander. I love the track. It's just the flow of it. I've had so much fun driving it. I love the people that are there. Known you guys for many years. I call you guys all great friends. I miss that I'm not going there this year, and I haven't gone for the last couple of years. But there's just something super cool. It's a race, Roger, where the hotel is a block away from the pit area. You mentioned the restaurants, whether you're going to Huckleberry's for pizza, or if you're going, I know the new Mexican restaurant was there when I was my last couple of years. I think it's El Patron. It's called. Fantastic. You don't have to go anywhere. You come there, you park your trailer, you park your truck, you stay at the hotel, and you're walking downtown. It's the great food. The restaurants are packed with carters, and then there's the Friday and Saturday night and Sunday night concerts at the stage as well from Ribco. It's amazing.
Right. Yeah, it's a unique weekend. They probably don't see too often anywhere else in kart racing. That's for sure.
Any new restaurants we need to talk about? What's hip downtown right now?
Well, you've hit on a lot of them, and I don't know. Another one seems to be popular is Soy 2, which is a Thai restaurant. It's on the plaza right next to the Mexican place. But yeah, the other thing is the Quad Cities has so much to offer that regardless of what it is you want to do, you can find it there. I mean, this is a metropolitan area of 375,000 people, pretty much equally split between Illinois and Iowa on the Mississippi River. So if you can't find it in downtown Rock Island, you can drive to Moline or drive to Davenport and find anything you want to do there. So
I know there's that great steakhouse too, over by the John Deere deal.
Yeah,
or what that place
Johnny's.
is called. Love that. Johnny's, that place, that was really good. I enjoyed that. And I know people, because a lot of people want to find out where they're going to go eat as well. If you're into casinos too, there's a couple of casinos there as well, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, Boomers in Rock Island has been a long time sponsor of the races, and I don't know, it's probably a 2-minute drive, I think, from downtown to get there. It's right on the 280 interstate. Yep. And this year, we're actually going to be doing our pre-gridding out there. So when people come into town on Friday, instead of having to try and park downtown and take up 14 parking meters, we usually have a place for them to go. And this year we're going to use the casino parking lot, so people will have better access to the hotel if they're staying there, but restrooms, restaurants, the casino, things like that, and we'll do all the pre-tech and everything there, just as we have done in the past.
I don't know how it always happens. Normally, when I'm leaving from dinner and I'm coming back from back to the hotel, I don't know how, but I always end up getting drawn over to the Old Time Tap. I don't know how it happens.
Maybe because it's right by the hotel, but
maybe it's right there. And sometimes I have one beer. Sometimes it's midnight. I don't know how that happens, but the Old Time Tap right there as well. Cool little kind of a dive bar. Great burger, as I remember. Here's one thing. Do you have the lineup? I know that over the last many years when I was there, we loved seeing the Travoltas on Saturday night, the disco band. They're actually from my town just up the road here in Guelph. That's what they would get together, these four, or the group of four that do the disco stuff. Do you know what the lineup for talent is for the music this particular year?
I don't know yet. I do know the Travoltas retired. I think it was 2 years ago.
I heard that day.
I think they heard that you weren't coming, so that was it. But
damn.
I haven't heard, but there's always a great lineup, great entertainment from a lot of different genres, and the racers and the race teams are always, welcomed. It's a unique mixture of local folk and racers, so it's just a good time for everybody.
It really is part of the uniqueness of it, Roger. I know when I first went to Rock Island, there's this awesome race going on, and then some great restaurants, and then everybody's getting together for the concert afterwards, and we're rocking out. And you're having a couple beers, and it's an atmosphere that we don't get anymore at a lot of races. It's when you're talking national level races, or you're at a track somewhere, we don't have that opportunity just for everybody to be together and having a good time. And you're in that concert and you're looking around and there's 100 kart racers hanging out and having fun. It's Rock Island's that one weekend, I think, where everybody kind of says, you know what, it's different. I'm going to let my hair down. I'm going to enjoy myself. You guys have built this thing, this event. You know what I mean? It's a happening. That's what I love about Rock Island.
Well, the other thing too is we hear a lot and see it actually is, it's because of the things we've been talking about. It's that one race every year where karters get their family together. They bring their sponsors. They bring friends. Which they're not going to take them out to a kart field in the middle of a cornfield. Usually it's mom and dad is about all you're going to get out there. But we have a lot of people that have their family come in from all over and they meet here, or they bring their sponsors or whatever, and everybody, because there is a lot to do when we're not racing.
Well, let's cap off this edition of the Industry Insiders. I talk with Roger Ruthhart from the Rock Island Grand Prix Labor Day Classic, an event you have to go to at least once. You go once, you're going to keep going. I guarantee it. Cap this off, Roger. First and foremost, one of the cool things I think is happening, obviously Quincy in the Park coming back. The big race at the Battle of the Brickyard. We've got Elkhart Grand Prix back as well. I want to talk about the Triple Crown. The three races, Quincy and Elkhart and Rock Island. You throw in the Battle of the Brickyard for the Ignite guys. 3 races, Triple Crown. Just kind of a cool deal of all you guys getting together to come up with one program that kind of can, let's say, celebrate the success of a driver across 3 events.
Yeah, I think, there's there's a lot of series out there, but there's certainly no, real street racing series. We're all a bunch of one-offs. And I think that, we're all fairly centrally located here. And it just seemed to make sense to try and do something that would be, good for the sport, good for the racers, and help promote our various races. And so, rather than compete with each other, we're trying to work together and get people to go to the multiple events and give some of the racers something to talk about and brag about and things like that. So, we're off to a decent start this year with I don't think 8 or 10 entries per class. And of course, we'll still take people if they want to continue to sign up for the Triple Crown. I mean, the points system is set up so that really anybody can win right up until the last race. So, I mean, that's the way we wanted it. We didn't want everybody to be eliminated before, for instance, we got to Rock Island. So really, you can come in and sign up for one race and win the Triple Crown almost if you can win it. But it's just something that, that we wanted to do is give a little hype. And certainly we're not, creating a new series or trying to compete with anybody on that level. It's just a matter of, the three of us getting to work together. And a lot of people don't know the history of Quincy in the Park or Elkhart, but these are really three iconic races that, even though the other two are relatively new in their comebacks, that historically, there's a lot of glory and history involving all three of them.
Yeah, I think the revival of those two races, adding them to the Rock Island Grand Prix, really has kind of put a buzz back into the Midwest kind of street circuit, one-off circuits, no doubt about that. Now, we'll cap off this podcast. First and foremost, if you're in the area or within travel, you just, drive from wherever you want. Bring your stuff out and go race the Rock Island Grand Prix. A lot of fun. If you want to just fly in, because it's a bucket list race, I've told a ton of guys, just fly in, get to the hotel, enjoy yourself, and do one of their arrive and drives with the Margay guys in the Ignite Challenge. A lot of fun. You come in, it's not a big price. Get a hold of the guys at Margay. I know that they have lunches every day. You have a mechanic. You're in the spec machine. Ton of fun in that category. But Roger, if we want to jump in and talk about someone who wants to enter, what do they got to do?
Our website is a great resource, and we'll be updating it continually in the next month with more specific race schedules and things like that. But if they go to rockislandgrandprix.com and click on the competitors page, there's links to register and things like that. And if they have any questions, certainly they can email us or call us. That information's on the website as well, and we'll try and walk them through it. All of our online registration is done through Race Day, and it's worked really well for us, but they need to get there, and they can do that through our website and then establish an account, and then just click on the 2018 Rock Island Grand Prix registration.
How about social media? I know that it's the new thing. What do you guys leverage? I'm pretty sure you guys are on Facebook.
We're on Facebook and Twitter, and feel free to reach out to us that way as well, or the email is simple. It's rockislandgrandprix@gmail.com. So they can email us that way, or like I said, the phone number is on the website too, and we're happy to help them any way we can. We also understand that that street racing can be a little excuse me, a little bit uncertain. So people, if they're not sure and they just want to come watch for a year, feel free to do that. There's free admission. Just bring a lawn chair or tailgate or whatever you want to do and set up and watch. But I think everybody will enjoy it if they choose to come and they're at the talent level that they're ready to compete at this level.
Take it from me. I absolutely love that race. It's as busy as I am, David Cole and I, we don't get to race a lot, and that's one of those races that, and I was obviously announcing and racing back in the day when I was able to do that. Man, it's an event that you will absolutely enjoy, and it's the racing itself is fun. Everybody's having an awesome time. Come Sunday, there's 10,000 people around the racetrack watching and screaming. There's an autograph session. It's just a ton of fun on the track in the paddock, and of course in the district as well. Just the overall weekend, folks. It's hard for me to overstate how great a time you'll have if you go to Rock Island. People come in, Skitchy Barnes always coming in from Bermuda. The Canadians always roll down. Guys rolling up from Texas on a regular basis, in Florida, California. It's one of those races that I would tell you, if you get a chance to do it, go to the Rock Island Grand Prix. Now, again, if you don't want to haul your stuff, I mentioned it already, you can go to margay.com. I know Margay has their Arrive and Drive for their Margay Ignite classes, which is the spec chassis. Everybody in the same chassis, same engine, same tires. But there's also other teams out there that, well, no doubt do an Arrive and Drive for you as well. All you got to do, you can contact us at eKarting News as well, newsdesk@ekartingnews.com, or reach out through Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. DM us, and we'll hook you up with a team that can put a ride together for you. Roger, thank you so much for joining us here on the Industry Insider. I love talking to you. I miss going to the race so much. I'm jealous that I had to hand the mic over to Tim Coyan. But again, Rock Island Grand Prix, just such a fantastic race. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Oh, good to talk to you, Rob. Hope to see you back soon.
All right, sir. Take care. Ladies and gentlemen, there it is, the Rock Island Grand Prix, this edition of the Industry Insider. Bye for now.